Hello and welcome to my week 1 top 25 predictions. It's finally here. It is finally football time. These are my games of the week. With of course this being here for a specific reason, but let's go ahead and get straight into things. So first off, this is top 25. I already said that, but just clarifying, so if there's other games on Thursday, whatever. Florida at Utah. I think Florida will be kind of on the lower end of things this year. I don't remember what I predicted for them. I think I predicted 5-7 or bowl eligible 6-6. Nonetheless, though, I feel like this will be more of a test for Utah to show what their offensive capabilities are able of, because I think Utah is definitely a more defensive team. It's always kind of been that big fat question mark on the offense where they just struggle to put up points in games. Always seem to hold teams to low scores, but they struggle to put up a lot of points. So, with that being said, I feel like Utah, Cam Rising will not really struggle. 31-7 is not a struggle, but I feel like they just won't impress us with that unanswered question of a solid offense or not. I feel like they will struggle, but nonetheless, against a team like Florida, a 7-31 shutout after being upset last year will start off the season for the Utes. They will start rolling strong. Their defense should hold them. East Carolina at Michigan. I actually don't think this is a terrible East Carolina team. I just think Michigan is so much better. So I'll give them points. I always got to give points to these teams, because when the second strings go in, and oftentimes these teams like to score at the very start of the game or keep things close for a small period of time and then score right at the end. So that's kind of how I'm judging off of these predictions. It's normally what ends up happening. But definitely this Michigan team should win this very easily. They probably will put in the second strings at the start of the fourth quarter, and that's why it'll be just 42. Virginia at Tennessee. Poor Virginia fans right now, man. After that whole shooting thing, getting upset by Furman in the March Madness. Now they've got to open up the season at Tennessee. It's not going to be nice for Virginia. Again, I got to give them points. Got to give them points for the second strings and whatnot, getting people their play time. Got to give them something. But, man, it's going to be a tough couple years for these Virginia fans, man. Colorado at TCU. This was up there fighting for a game of the week strictly because of the amount of people I have seen choosing Colorado to win this game. The amount, it is insane. I'm going to give Colorado points. I do believe there is quite a decent amount of Colorado talent. I just think they're not very well put together. There are a whole bunch of new people, including a head coach, all bonding together for their first game at TCU. I feel like this score will be points at the end, if anything, but final score will be a lot closer than the game is, but they'll show some life. They will show some fight and some life, nonetheless, against TCU. Arkansas State at Oklahoma. This is just a gloss over. I don't know anything about this team. Oklahoma should rock their shit. Nothing about that. Oh, this one did not want to load a background. Sorry for the blindness. So for this one, I'm going to go ahead and scroll back to this page for that, because that's really bright. Utah State at Iowa. I think Utah State, actually we'll go back, whatever. I think Utah State is not going to be, terrible, but Iowa's always got a very strong defense, so I don't doubt in Iowa's defense, or I don't doubt in Iowa's defensive abilities to hold this team to a very small amount of points. Again, this is kind of like the Utah game. This is where we can see, or we will see, if they will score points, if they will put up points. I say they will. I mean, I'm saying they will because, when they go up against San Jose State last year and they put up 7 or something like that, I mean, they will actually score some touchdowns, because now they've got a quarterback who's a great leader and whatnot. They could potentially have some offense this year. So I think they will try to prove that, but against Utah State, I don't necessarily think Utah State's terrible, but they won't. They will be in kind of a Utah situation where it's like, how do we feel about this? It's like we'll have to wait for another match. Mercer at Ole Miss, nothing to be said there. I mean, that's just nobody. Portland State at Oregon, nothing to be said there. There should be no upset there. Ohio State at Indiana. I think this is the first game where I've chosen the away team to win, and not only win, absolutely kill them. I don't have any faith in Indiana to beat Ohio State, to be quite frankly honest. Man, it is so annoying. Let me just pause real quick. It is so annoying when I see this shit because it's like, it is just so hard to line them up with the center, man, and it pisses me off. I'm sorry if that pisses you guys off too, but it is. I really can't do much about it. You just have to like work the system to understand. But back to football. Ohio State's a much better team than Indiana. Indiana is not good. Simply, there's nothing to be said here. Boise State at Washington. I will not sleep on Boise State. I will not sleep on them. I think Washington will drop a lot of points with a potential Heisman quarterback sitting behind the center. But I'm not going to say Boise State won't score. I mean, after all, this is Pac-12 Central, man. Defenses struggle here. And Boise State is not that bad of a team. I feel like they will definitely be a fighter in the Mountain West. Or in the, Mountain West for the best team there. Yeah, nothing much to be said there. I just think Boise State will put up some points. But Washington will end up just outscoring and pulling the usual Pac-12 stuff. But at least it's not San Jose State, and it's Boise State, a respectable or a more respectable opponent. Rice at Texas. Again, nothing to be said here. I've got no faith in Rice to go into a extremely talented Texas team and win. Tennessee State at Notre Dame. No faith in Tennessee State to beat Notre Dame. Buffalo at Wisconsin. I've got psych. I have faith in this. I'm going to say Buffalo is going to be our usual, our yearly non-conference scare where a team, whether they're ranked or not, will be scared. They will barely escape this one. Doesn't mean they're bad. Does not mean Wisconsin's a bad team. Doesn't mean anything like that. But they will be scared. They will just play a bad game, and Buffalo will stay in it till the very end. But Wisconsin will still win. It'll be a big old scare. That'll end on an interception or something for Wisconsin. UT Martin at Georgia. Nothing to be said there. Nevada was one of the worst teams in the country. So now it's like, can USC hold them to it? No. Nevada was one of the worst teams. If USC can't do that, then I don't know what to say. But honestly, I just don't think Nevada is able to put up any points at all. They're going to suck, which means USC will just get the ball a bunch and win. Nothing to be said here. Give me Kansas State. Not in the 40s. I realized I was doing a whole bunch of 40-point games, so I put it 2 points under. You know me. New Mexico at Texas A&M. How much I would love to say, this should be no question. For I think this was the worst team in college football last year. I would love to say this should be no question, but Texas A&M loves to do Texas A&M things. I'm still gonna say they're gonna kill them. At least they're not number 6 this time. But hey, it's always out there. We can't forget about what happened. It's always out there. Middle Tennessee State at Alabama. I say this is just, again, give them some points for the second strings and whatnot. Bama wins. West Virginia at Penn State. Penn State is a national championship competitor, in my opinion. West Virginia will put up points, but again, like I said, at like the start of the game, and then when the second strings are in, they'll score. Penn State will rule this game. There's no question. UNC at South Carolina. I know the world is going to choose South Carolina. The whole entire world is going to choose South Carolina. But I will not sleep on Drake May for a mere second. You probably already know what my prediction is because if you notice the background, I choose the winning team backgrounds. I'm going to say UNC takes it in overtime in a thriller. I'm going to say they take it in overtime in an absolute thriller. UNC will kick a field goal, and then South Carolina will not be able to convert it. Just when everybody's all hyped up about Spencer Sanders, he fails the Gamecocks. However, that does not mean they are a bad team. That just means these are two highly, highly, highly underrated teams this year. These two teams are going to be like the LSU and Florida State of last year, where they have to butt heads and they stay unranked forever, and then they rise to the top. These teams will be very good, very well matched. UNC will take it in overtime. South Alabama at Tulane. Now, South Alabama was actually a very good team last year. They lost by a point at UCLA, and they lost by, I think, 3 to Troy, who finished off a 2-loss team. But then they got their butt kicked in their bowl game. So I'll give them some points. I believe this Tulane team, their quarterback is a dog, and overall, this Tulane team will be very good next year. Or this year, I guess. I could start saying this year now because it is. It's right next door. But I won't say they're just going to be shut out. I think they'll put up some points. Tulane better. Tulane is better. Oregon State at San Jose State. Now, I know I was hyping up this San Jose State team for making some extraordinary plays in the USC game. That quarterback was doing some unbelievable stuff. However, Oregon State has got a lockdown defense. If they look anything like they did last year defensively, then they will absolutely shut out this team. But now that they have an actual, like, whatever quarterback, like someone reasonable, right? Not somebody who just puts up the worst quarterback stats ever. They can actually have somebody who can possibly throw it. They will put up a lot of points, and San Jose State will get shut out at home. And the game of the week, undoubtedly. What a start to the year. They put it on a Sunday. What a start. What a beautiful first game. Absolutely phenomenal. I don't know where this is actually played at. I don't know if it's at USC or at Florida State, so I just said versus. I don't know which one it is. It's Orlando, Florida. So it looks like it's going to be at FSU. I actually have no idea where FSU's stadium is. I don't know if it's in Orlando, but yeah. So, I say this could be a neutral site, could not, but either way, I'm not interested in the home field advantage for these two because these two teams are very hyped up. I feel like this will nonetheless be a pretty split field, even though Louisiana, there's distance there. I still think it'll be a pretty split field. And overall, this will be a shootout, in my opinion. A shootout for the ages. You know, I love to hype up these games. It's just so difficult because I don't want to be the Debbie Downer in this, but it's like every time you see a game like this, they turn out to be dog shit or something like that. Last year's game was a phenomenal finish, and I hope it is the same finish. But the whole world is going to select LSU in this, but personally, I'm going to select FSU. And call that LSU hate. I have been hating on LSU a lot, but not necessarily for the team and just hating on LSU in general. I'm more hated on LSU fans and their egos of their team necessarily. And I just think what the situation is here is Florida State is going to have a phenomenal offense that will most likely outlast the LSU defense. However, Florida State does not have a good defense, and LSU will be able to make a bunch of plays. It will be Jaden Daniels and his inconsistency that would lead to their demise. If Jaden Daniels could put it together for this game, they would most likely be able to walk over this FSU defense. But Jaden Daniels, even in his time at ASU and even in his time at LSU, he has shown inconsistency and he makes a lot of mistakes. I mean, just watch the game back in a Texas A&M game and just watch him straight up drop the ball on the field. Like, he makes stupid mistakes, overthrows bad reads, and bad QB options and whatnot. Overall, I'm just saying, Jayden Daniels has shown to me a lot of inconsistency, and he doesn't seem to be like the leader I think he is. However, Jordan Travis for Florida State has shown like dominance. He has shown his quarterbacking abilities, especially in that Florida State game last year. He was phenomenal, and with the increase in talent around him, as well as his own increase in talent, he's only been training to get better. I think Jordan Travis, I don't want to speak too early. This could be a Heisman candidate, but I think Jordan Travis will stun some people in this game. I think that is how this game is going to finish. Nonetheless, though, I don't really care who wins. Obviously, I would choose FSU to win just because of the LSU fans and their stupid egos, but all in all, I just really hope this is a very good game to watch. I just hope this is a good game. That's all I hope and pray for, and I think we can all say the same. Clemson at Duke, our last game. I think this is on a Monday. I think at Duke is not going to be easy. Duke was a pretty good team last year, but Clemson is definitely, I kind of hated on Clemson in my AP polls video, but they're still nonetheless a national championship contender and a very good team. They have a solid defense. So Duke will put up fight, but Clemson will ultimately be better, double their score, whether it's just amount of turnovers or defensive stops. Clemson will win this game at Duke. And that's the last game. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your guys' predictions in the comments below. A like would help. And that's all for me. Adios.